Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let's get started with a ton of Christmas inspiration for you. This two stockings that I'm going to make off of this infinity scarf, which is plaid or buffalo check red and black. As soon as I saw these, I fell in love. I said, what a perfect color texture for Christmas DIYs. As a matter of fact, I'm a little obsessed, and I went back and I grabbed all kinds of different colors. So you'll be seeing these scarves being used quite a bit. All right, so the first thing is I just cut it, in half, or opened the infinity scarf. And then now I am just going to fold and create a 12-inch flap. So essentially it's 24 inches. So I'm going to cut two of them because I am going to make two stockings. Next, I'm going to make sure that everything is folded nice and even so that I can then now start cutting and tracing the shape of the stocking. I am just freehanding this. You can certainly search on Google for a free printable. There's no need for that. Really, it's so easy. You just imagine yourself. You can even draw it first if you need to. But in this case, I just decided to freehand it. Once I had everything cut, I then used the first stocking and traced it on the other part, or the other, oh my gosh, piece of scarf, so that they are both the same size and same shape.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe. And I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is
All right, so now it's time to glue everything. You can certainly stitch it, sew it, but for these scarves, really all you need is some hot glue. It has a really good bond when you are gluing it together. So I would suggest this, but you can certainly use whatever you'd like. And I'm also going to, these stockings are going to be decorative. We're not going to put anything heavy or anything inside of it, although you can certainly open the top and have it be where you can actually use it as a stocking, but I just want them to be decorative.
falling down, and the storm is on its way. But as long as you're around, everything will be okay. 'Cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you.
Once I had everything glued, I am now going to flip it inside out or outside in and just make sure that all the little corners are nicely tucked out. Like this little corner in the heel, I should have tucked it out, but I do catch it later, and I make sure that it's all out. I did decide to fold the top just a little bit, maybe about 2 inches or so, or maybe 1 inch. This is just so that it's not as tall. It seemed too tall and too skinny. So I could have cut it, but I think folding it worked just fine. I'm not going to take this dusting mop from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to fold it in half and cut it right down the middle. This is going to be the fuzzy part of the stocking, and it's so simple, guys. You're basically just going to put it on top and then hot glue it in all the corners so that it is very secure to the stocking.
Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment to have you for myself, in a cabin out in nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything to be perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. Another year went by, but the difference this time is that ever since July, I've been happier than I have ever been. It's safe to say that my love for you is true. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you.
I then took pieces of scrap scarf that was just left over from when I cut the stocking, and I'm just going to hot glue it so that I can create a little strip, and this is going to be the little hanging hook on each stocking.
I've longed for this moment to have you for myself in a cabin out in nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything till we're perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. 'Cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you.
All right, so now I'm going to take some greenery. These greeneries are from Amazon. I happened to purchase a whole bag of them, very inexpensive. If you are interested, these are great for DIYs on small projects. They are in my Amazon store, which is linked down below. And then I'm going to take, but you can certainly use Dollar Tree picks and greenery, absolutely. I'm going to take a little ball, Christmas ball, and then a little pine cone from the Dollar Tree. And look how stinking cute these look. I think these are my favorite.
I've longed for this moment to have you for myself in a cabin out in nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything till we're perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me.
I'm going to take these three red and white Dollar Tree balls, and then I'm going to take three smaller ones in their silver tone. Now, using my wire cutter very carefully, I'm going to snap the very top of after I removed the hanging little portion of it. I'm going to remove that because I want it to be nice and flush to the rest of the ball, and then I sanded it down so it is nice and smooth.
It's white outside, and the night is cold. Everyone.
Guys, these balls were going everywhere. It was kind of comical. All right, so then I took some hot glue and I placed a whole bunch of glob on top, right where the hole was. And I'm going to hot glue the smaller silver one right on top, kind of creating little snowman.
Lighting candles in their homes. Yes, it's Christmas.
I then took these greenery ties. I think it's what they would be called. I'm just going to cut them in half and I'm going to use three of them. And this is just going to be wrapped around their neck, almost like a scarf.
It's a magic time. You can feel it in the air. That every child got their hearts filled up with joy. Yes, it's Christmas all around.
And then to finish it off, I'm just going to hot glue the little pine cones from the Dollar Tree right in the center, or right where the little greenery meets and twist.
All snow is falling down, all the colored lights lighting up this town. And as I walk outside, hear the Christmas choir sing, Merry Christmas to you. This time of year is a time to.
And then, of course, we need a little hanging something. So I'm going to take some jute twine from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to, I would say it's about, I don't know, 18 inches long. You can do whatever size you want if you're going to recreate this. I'm going to tie it. I'm going to make a bow, then secure the bow, and then tie the top of the jute twine so that we can hang it.
Let our loved ones, our family and friends have a Christmas with it stay forever. It's Christmas today. All snow is falling down, all the colored lights lighting up this town. And as I walk outside, hear the Christmas choir sing, Merry Christmas to you.
I'm going to take some more of that leftover scarf from earlier, and I'm just going to fold it in half. Now, I don't even know what size this is. It's just a scrap piece, but if I were to guess, it's about 8 inches. And or when it's folded, of course. I'm just gonna cut a triangle. I'm gonna do 2 of these. One's gonna be smaller, and these are gonna be little triangle Christmas trees. So I'm just gonna cut it, and then, as I did with the stocking, hot glue the edges to create a pocket.
All snow is falling down, all the colored lights lighting up this town. And as I walk outside, hear the Christmas choir sing, Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you.
I then took some stuffing from a pillow. This pillow I got at Walmart. I always have a pillow on hand. They have them very inexpensive. I always have it around for projects like these, or if I'm making a pillow or something like that. I am going to stuff each little triangle with the stuffing just so that they have a nice flush kind of texture to it.
Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa to.
I am now going to take 2 popsicle sticks. These are the larger ones that you can get at Dollar Tree. And these are going to be the stem. So I'm just going to stick it right in the middle and then hot glue it to seal everything.
He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light while we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, a Merry Christmas Day. Oh, we're chasing snowflakes as they're falling down, and follow Rudolph all across the town. Later we meet under the mistletoe, while Santa's busy saying ho ho ho. We're feeling jolly, eating Christmas.
I am now going to create a base, a snowy base, and I'm going to take one of these foam cylinders from the Dollar Tree. It comes 2 in a pack. I'm only going to use 1, and I'm going to hot glue more of that stuffing from the pillow on top to create a snow-like texture.
And then we go skating on the frozen lake, saying hi to every friendly face. And later we warm up by the fireplace. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us all a Merry Christmas Day.
After I glued everything and cut excess as I needed, I am now going to take this glittery green ribbon from the Dollar Tree and I'm just going to hot glue it to the base, creating a nice seam on the bottom. I'm going to take the same ribbon except in the red and I'm going to create 2 small bows for the bottom of each tree and just secure them with hot glue. And now I'm just going to literally push them in the foam until I like the position they're in, and then we'll be done with this one.
Last year I thought about how things can come around just like that if everyone is here to celebrate one day. We have our ups and downs, but when there's love there's always a way. And oh, this time of year we come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one
Alright, so I'm going to take this foam board from Artisa and I am going to freehand a couple candy canes. This was inspired by a Kirkland home decor that I saw, and I wanted to recreate it using a lot less expensive materials. So after I freehanded it, I then cut it using my X-Acto knife, and then I just make sure that it was nice and smooth by just sanding it down.
Let's go outside, the snow is falling down and every child is having so much fun. The snowman is twice the size as me with a smile as quirky as mine. We're holding hands to keep each other warm while we stand and watch a choir performing all the Christmas songs that we love. Yeah, all the Christmas songs that we love. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you.
I then gave each of them 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen
Let
white.
me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you.
I am now going to use the same foam board and I'm just going to freehand a little plaque that the original inspiration piece had. It kind of looked like wood, and that's what I'm going to try to do with this one. I'm going to cut it off and then I'm going to make the ends just a little bit more choppy by cutting off a few pieces randomly. And then I'm going to stain it using Waverly and taking wax and removing any excess wax from it to give it that wood look.
Making plans for what we're gonna do. I feel so blessed that I can be with you. 'Cause God knows that I've been longing for you. I just wanna hold you close. You know the stars are shining just just for you. Let's take a walk, and we can follow the moonlight till we reach a place we can stay. Maybe kiss a bit and dream away. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. Ooh, and in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire.
I am going to tape off the candy canes just to give it that candy cane effect. And then I'm going to give it one coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the Farmhouse Red.
Last year I thought about how things can come around just like that if everyone is here to celebrate one day. We have our ups and downs, but when there's love there's always a way. And oh, this time of year we come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday, it means so much more than words can say. And I claim that Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents, but it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day.
I am now going to write the word welcome just like the original has, and then trace it with chalk marker from Artisa.
This year I'll think about how I'm so lucky to have a place that I can come home to. Yes, I am on my way. We'll put our differences aside and just enjoy this moment of peace and love and happiness. We come together to celebrate.
Alright, so now it's time to put everything together. I am going to crisscross the candy canes and secure them with hot glue. Then I'm going to place the wooden plaque right in the middle, and then again with hot glue. And then I'm just going to start adding some decorations, some greenery, a buffalo check ribbon, some little pine cones, and then to finalize things, I added some wire to the top so I can hang it.
Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday, it means so much more than words can say. And I claim that Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents, but it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday, it means so much more than words can say. And I claim that Christmas is a
Alright, so for this next one, it's another one inspired by Kirkland's Home Decor. This is this Ho 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 Santa's Belt Christmas plaque. And I'm going to use the same foam board and cut out a long rectangle.
Isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always
Using the back of a thin paintbrush, I'm just going to dent a couple lines going across to kind of make it look like it's planked.
be angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas.
And now I am going to give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk pen in the Farmhouse Red.
And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sun said it is just
While the paint dries, I am going to freehand the words ho ho ho. I'm just going to do one and then use the first one to trace 2 other ones. And then just cut them with the X-Acto knife.
it better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. Here we go. All right. Dance, dance, now this Christmas, we're gonna dance. We're gonna dance, dance, dance. Come on. Dance. We're gonna dance, dance, have a good time. Dance, dance, all night long. We're gonna dance, dance, and have a good time. I think Santa's gonna come and join us in this song. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas.
I am now going to use this sticky felt pad or felt fabric, and I am going to cut out just a piece wide enough, I guess, to kind of mimic a belt, like Santa's belt. And then I'm going to cut it to size to fit the sign. And then I'm going to use some washi tape in the golden tone, and I'm going to make it look like it's the belt buckle.
Let's go outside. The snow is falling down, and every child is having so much fun. The snowman is twice the size as me, with a smile as quirky as mine. We're holding hands to keep each other warm while we stand and watch a choir performing all the Christmas songs that we love. Yeah, all the Christmas songs that we love. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby.
And now it's just time to hot glue the words ho 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 right on them. And that'd be it, guys. I can't believe how inexpensive this was to recreate and saves a lot of money.
with you. Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I'm making plans for what we're gonna do. I feel so blessed can be with you. 'Cause God knows that I've been longing for you. Just wanna hold you close. You know the stars are shining just for you. Let's take a walk and we can follow the moonlight till we reach a place we can stay. Maybe kiss a bit and dream away. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. Ooh,
Alright guys, for the next DIY, I am going to use drop cloth that I got on Amazon. I do believe I do have it in my Amazon store. I cut out a piece of the drop cloth, kind of wide enough. I think it's about, I don't know, about maybe 20 inches or so. And I'm going to make a runner for my table. This is part of a video that I did using drop cloth for a very cozy style decor. I'm just here measuring to see where I need to cut to make sure that it's long enough for my table. I used my Cricut to cut a phrase, "True love was born in a manger." I recently used this phrase for a farmhouse style sign for Christmas, and I just really loved it, so I'm going to use it again for this DIY. And I am going to place it twice, one on one side towards the bottom, and then the second time will be on the other side facing the other side. And I'm going to stencil it using Rust-Oleum chalk pen in the farmhouse red.
Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I longed for this moment to have you for myself in a cabin out of nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything till we're perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. Another year went by, but the difference this time is that ever since July, I've been happier than I have ever been. It's safe to say that my love for you is true. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I longed for this moment to have you for myself in a cabin out of nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything till we're perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. Cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I longed for this moment to have you for myself in a cabin out of nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything.
I was a bit nervous when I pulled. Just always get nervous with bleed through, but it really stenciled very well. The vinyl that I use is very good too. I do have most of these supplies in my Amazon store. Actually, all of the supplies, the drop cloth is there, the paint, the vinyl, the transfer tape, all of it is all in my Amazon store, which is linked down below.
It's white outside, and the night is cold. Everyone.
So now I'm just going to flip it the other way and do the same thing and add the same stencil on the other side, but of course facing the other side.
Lighting candles in their homes. Yes, it's Christmas. It's a magic time. You can feel it in the air. That every child got their hearts filled up with joy. Yes, it's Christmas. Oh.
All right, so we're just about done with this one, guys, and I really love the way this turned out. It just looks very homey and just simple and so farmhouse. I really, really loved it.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe. And I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is falling down, and the storm is on.
Again, the drop cloth, and I am going to make a Santa hat. So I am just going to kind of eye out what the width of the Santa hat that I want to see, and then I'm just going to fold it over and then just cut the triangle for the Santa hat and hot glue the seams so that they are nice and secure with hot glue. All right, so I'm now going to flip it inside out or outside in, and that way the Sims are inside. In most cases in this video, I'm going to leave the little fuzzy sides out so that I can see it, but in this case, I wanted to tuck him in. I am now going to take a dusting mop from the Dollar Tree and I'm just going to cut it to size and then cut it in half. Hot glue it into the bottom of the hat and that will be the fuzzy part of the hat.
Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart.
I'm going to clean out a little bit of that excess piece that I had just to have the trims be nice and clean. And then I'm going to use this as the top little fuzzy part from the Santa hat. And again, I'm just going to hot glue it in place.
So much more than words can say, and I claim that Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents, but it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day. 'cause I am on my way. We'll put our different.
As an added detail, I'm going to take this piece ornament from the Dollar Tree. I removed the little details because at first I thought I can just place it on top, but when I pulled it off, it actually pulled some of the glitter off, so I ended up having to hot glue it right on top on the same spot, but I was okay with that. So I'm just going to hot glue the ornament to the right side of the fuzzy part of the Santa hat.
And just enjoy this moment of peace and love and happiness. We come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fire.
And I'm going to add a little pine cone from the Dollar Tree, and then we'll be done. This one is extremely adorable.
And no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday. It means so much more than words can say. And I claim that Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents. But
Once again, I am going to use my drop cloth, and now I'm going to cut a piece. I grabbed a piece of scrap paneling that I had in the garage, and I'm just going to cut a piece that it just goes over the size of the piece of paneling. That's because, again, I'm going to rip the one side so it has the fuzzies, but the two shorter sides on the sides, I'm just going to fold those in so I'm not going to have the fuzzies. I did learn that the drop cloth, you can rip going lengthwise, but going like sideways, it does not rip. So I did try. All right, so as you see here, I am just now folding to see how long I want the drop cloth to be. Hot glue it, and then I'm going to paint the edges of the I'm going to hot glue the edges of the drop cloth, and then I'm going to paint the edges of the paneling using 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white.
yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is
All right, so now it's time to secure the drop cloth to the paneling, and I'm just going to do that using hot glue.
outside. We gather around the fireplace, and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday. It means so much more than words can say. And I claim
I got a little packet of these stencils last year at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use this one, but I'm only going to use the actual words, not the little like squibblies and the little leaves. So I'm going to tape those, I'm going to tape over those so that I do not stencil them in error.
is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents. But it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day.
I am now stenciling using a stenciling brush and Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the charcoal tone.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe. And I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me.
All right, so now I am going to take two of these greenery ties. I think it's what it is, but they're wonderful. They're very easy to work with. They're from Dollar Tree. You get 10 in a packet. And I'm going to take two, twist them around, and I'm going to make a small little wreath and then, just kind of twist it. And then this is what I'm going to add to the right side of the words. And I'm also going to give it a little tiny red bow using ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and then hot glue everything to the sign.
Snow is falling down, and the storm is on its way. But as long as you're around, everything will be okay. 'Cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment to have you for myself, in a cabin out in nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything to be perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. Another year went by, but the difference this time is that ever since July, I've been happier than I have ever been. It's safe to say that my love for you is true. Tomorrow it is Christmas.
I found these frosted berries at the Dollar Tree, and unfortunately, they only had one pick left, so I grabbed it. But I cut a couple little small branches off of it. I'm just going to hot glue them right underneath the bow to kind of give it a little extra detail. And we're going to call it a day with this one, guys. It is stunning.
The first for me and you. I've longed for this moment to have you for myself, in a cabin out in nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything to be perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for
It's going to be a little triangle tree. I've seen these in several like Pinterest and Facebook and YouTube. And I just wanted to make one with this drop cloth because I think it's just going to add a cute touch to this whole little kind of vignette of cozy farmhouse decor. So I'm just going to cut a triangle, and then I'm going to hot glue the edges so that I can stuff it using pillow stuffing from Walmart.
Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa.
Once I had it nicely stuffed, I am now going to hot glue the bottom. And as I was handling the little tree, it kind of got a little bit more of those fuzzies on the edges, which I really liked. I didn't think it was going to have so many because I didn't rip it. I actually cut it with scissors, but it really turned out super cute. Now I'm going to use a little wooden stem from the Dollar Tree, one of their larger ones, and I'm going to hot glue the tree there. And that is it for this one. Ah, man, this one's one of my favorites too, but I really like all of them.
Tonight, he climbs down the chimney at the speed of light, while we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing just you and me. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard before, as they walk from house to house to wish us.
I am going to take 4 of these Dollar Tree ties. They're like the greenery ties that you can use to hang garland or fill in trees. And I'm just going to just kind of like make a little loop and then twist them to create something like this. And what I'm going to do is I want to create 4 napkin ring holders. And I want to make a little bit of high-end look. So I'm going to take some of this glittery gold pick branch that I got at the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to cut a branch and then cut smaller little branches from there and hot glue it to the center. And I'm going to do it long ways. So if you kind of imagine or picture the napkin being there long ways, this is going to kind of go up and down the napkin. Then I'm going to take a golden ball from the Dollar Tree. This is a tiny little ornament ball, and they have all kinds of colors. I'm going to put one right there in the center, and then I'm going to take some of this vase filler, and I'm going to grab a red little ball, and I'm just going to hot glue it right there in the middle as well. This is just going to add a pop of color. And that's it, guys. Seriously, one of the easiest DIYs ever. And I did the same thing 4 times to create 4 napkin rings. And I think these turned out so cute.
Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring.
I'm going to create a beautiful high-end looking centerpiece using this 15-foot garland from the Dollar Tree. And I'm not going to use all of it, but I will be using most of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little ring. So this ring, I'm just going to, just like this, loop it. And it's about 6 inches wide in the center. And then I'm going to loop it 2 more times. So it's going to have 3 loops. And that's to create a thicker, fuller kind of garland or mini wreath, I guess, effect on it. And then once I have looped it 3 times, I'm going to cut it. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to loop it again. And this time I'm just kind of threaded inside, just kind of twisting it, but not tight because I don't want to squeeze the bristles. I want them to stay nice and fluffy. So basically I'm just going to just roll it around, loop it around, and then make sure that it's secure but not too tight so it doesn't get flat on me. And I'm going to do this 2 more times so that I have a total of 3 rings.
In my heart, but this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sanctuary. Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart, and I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sunset, it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow.
All right, so now I'm going to take these 3 votive candle vases, which are so cute. They have like a golden aged look to them. I'm going to place them right in the center. And then I'm going to take more of that golden glittery pick from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to start placing a couple, one in each in between of the vases. And I'm just kind of spreading it around just so that it kind of, just until I like what I see kind of thing. And then once I dry fit them, I'm going to hot glue them. And I'm going to do the same with little pine cones that I'm going to add. I'm going to add more of those little vase fillers in the red. And then I'm also going to add bells that I got not at the Dollar Tree, but I got it at the Dollar General. And if you do not have little bells like that you're going to see here in a minute, you can always use more of those golden balls, ornament balls, those smaller ones from the Dollar Tree.
We're gonna dance. We're gonna dance. Santa's gonna come and join us in this song. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will
All right, so now I'm going to take this ribbon. It's beautiful golden ribbon from the Dollar Tree and a thinner one. And I'm just going to make a simple bow. This is so that I can attach it to the front of the centerpiece and just add a very beautiful but simple golden bow that's just going to bring everything together.
Let's go outside. The snow is falling down and every child is having so much fun. The snowman is twice the size as me with a smile as quirky as mine. We're holding hands to keep each other warm while we stand and watch a choir performing all the Christmas songs that we love. Yeah, all the Christmas songs that we love. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you.
And then to finish it off, I'm just going to add these little tea candles from the Dollar Tree. They smell wonderful. And I'm just going to add one in each little vase, and that's it for this one. It turned out so cute and very, very high-end looking.
What we're gonna do, I feel so blessed that I can be with you. 'Cause God knows that I've been longing for you. I just wanna hold you close. You know the stars are shining just for you. Let's take a walk and we can follow the moonlight till we reach a place we can stay. Maybe kiss a bit and dream away. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with
I found this wire wreath at the Dollar Tree, and although it was already golden, I want to give it more of that metallic golden tone that I've been using throughout. And I'm just going to lightly spray it. Just one light coat is all it needed. And once it was fully dry, I brought it inside. And then I'm going to add some greenery and some decorations, of course. I'm going to take the leftover garland that I had from the centerpiece, and I'm just going to have 3 pieces. They're maybe about a foot, maybe 10 inches to a foot long. I don't have in mind what size I wanted it, just long enough where it's going to be perfect for the wreath. And then I'm going to take additional greenery ties from the Dollar Tree and just to make it a little fuller. And I know it's looking like a spider right now. At least that's what I thought when I was making it. I'm like, what am I doing? But anyways, it comes together, I promise. So I'm just going to put these, crisscross them all, and then take a half piece of the ties and just tie it in the back. And then originally I wanted to make the decorations kind of like on the bottom side. And then I changed my mind, and then I placed it on the bottom of the wreath, which was a good decision. So I'm just going to attach it to the wreath using another piece of, or another tie, greenery tie from the Dollar Tree, and then attach it and twist it in the back.
It's going down on Christmas Day. 'Cause I'm trying to tell you in every way. Yeah, I'm trying to show you, but somehow felt I wanna have someone to hold. Walking through the falling snow. I'm trying to tell you in every way, but now get it done. I'm not gonna.
All right, so now it's time to add some color. I'm going to take these berries from the Dollar Tree and just take 2 of the little stems there and then just attach them. Literally, I'm not even going to glue them. I'm just going to squeeze them right in there. And I have one on each side. And these little ornament bells are so adorable and just a great size too. So I'm going to use the golden one again just to keep with the golden theme. And I removed everything to put everything pretty much back again except for the little golden bow. And this just because sometimes those little like arrangements that they put on the ornaments, they're like kind of like crazy looking sometimes. So I removed them and I just glue them back on again, but this time just a little neater and just kind of what I wanted to see. And then I'm just going to hot glue the bell right to the bottom of the wreath. But I did thought about adding a bow because it just needed something else. So I'm going to use the same ribbon that I used earlier and I'm going to make a simple bow. Once again, I like to keep things simple. Hot glue it to the bottom center of the wreath, and then I'm going to add more ribbon to the top so we can hang it and we'll be done.
We've got you on my mind, but I know this time you're on top of my list. Only wish. And as we decorate the tree, only you and me, I'll be making plans, make you understand. I'm not gonna play it safe. I'm not gonna play it safe. It's going down on Christmas Day.
We are just about done, guys, and I just love the way these decorations turned out. Oh my gosh, I'm not much of a golden tone kind of person, but every so often when I use it, I just fall in love with it. It's just so classy, and with the red and the green, it just looks beautiful. This foam board that I got from Artisa, but you can certainly use any foam board you have at home, either from Dollar Tree or anywhere else. I'm going to freehand a skate. I have no idea if it was going to turn out good or bad, but I actually like the way it turned out. So you can certainly Google images for, free images for skates and or ice skating, and you can certainly print it and then use it as a template. But freehanding it there turned out pretty well for me. I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and I'm just going to cut it off. And then I'm going to use this cutout of this skate to then trace and cut out a second one.
Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and
I took both skates outside and I'm just going to spray paint the blade using a hammered silver tone Rust-Oleum spray paint.
making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in
Once it was dry, I took it inside and I'm going to take a Dollar Tree black, white, and red scarf. I have been a little bit obsessed with these scarves. This is not an infinity scarf, but it's a regular scarf. But certainly beautiful, beautiful colors, perfect for Christmas. And I'm going with a cottage, snowy, kind of comfy Christmas decoration, so I think it's perfect. I'm going to hot glue the top portion of the skate, so the boot part. I'm just going to hot glue the edges, attach the scarf, and then cut out the excess.
heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sun said it is just good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand.
Once I have both boots cut out and ready, I'm going to take this dusting mop from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to cut off about an inch from each side. This is just going to be a little fussy part that I'm going to add to the skates. And then I'm going to hot glue it in place and cut off the excess.
Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. Here we go. All right. Now this Christmas, we're gonna dance. We're gonna dance, dance, dance. Come on. We're gonna dance, dance, have a good time. Dance, dance, all night long. We're gonna dance, dance, and have a good time. I think Santa's gonna come and join us in this song. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be
I am now going to take some gray yarn and I'm going to hot glue to mimic some laces. At first, I thought I'd use a chalk marker, but it didn't work out, so yarn worked out perfect.
Let's go outside, the snow is falling down and every child is having so much fun. The snowman is twice the size as me, with a smile as quirky as mine. We're holding hands to keep each other warm while we stand and watch a choir performing all the Christmas songs that we love.
Alright, so now I am going to hot glue both skates together. I want them to have kind of like a look like when you hang the skates from the laces kind of look. But I want them to stick together and not just bounce around because it is foam board. So I want them to be very sturdy. So I'm just going to hot glue the front of the skate to the back of the other one.
All the Christmas songs that we love. And in a while we're gonna
And now I'm going to take some additional yarn and I'm just going to cut out two pieces, but I'm going to fold it in half. And that way it's going to look like laces from both skates. And that is where I would hang it from.
go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents.
As an added touch, I'm going to add some frosted greenery that I have here left over from previous Christmas seasons. This is just to add a little bit of greenery detail and a little bit of a frosted look. Again, I'm going for a snowy cottage kind of look. And we'll be done with this one, guys, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love the way these skates turned out, and it would be beautiful with any other type of fabric too.
I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. Ooh. I'm making plans for what we're gonna do. I feel so blessed that I can be with you. 'Cause God knows that I've been longing for you. I just wanna hold you close.
I'm going to take this Dollar Tree ornament wooden sign and I'm going to once again use the same scarf. I'm just going to hot glue and cover the front of it. To add a little extra touch of snowy frosted like, I'm going to dry brush some chalk paint to the edges. And then I'm going to wrap the top portion of the ornament using the same gray yarn I used as the laces for these skates. I am now going to add a couple of those frosted evergreen picks, and I'm just going to hot glue them to the top underneath the yarn. I am now going to take more of that red ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to make a very simple bow, and I'm going to hot glue it right in between the yarn and the picks. And now I'm going to take a little bit extra yarn. I'm going to tie it at the end after I loop it. And I'm going to hot glue it to the back. And that's where I would hang the ornament from. And look how beautiful this one turned out, guys. Oh. All right, I'm going to take this foam cylinder from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take this leftover plunger stick that I used for a previous project, and I had this piece left over. I marked the middle of the foam, and I'm just going to use my blade knife there to cut it off, and that way it'll fit perfectly in the middle. I am then going to take 2 pieces of the same scarf. I am not measuring because it really doesn't matter. I just want them to be close in size, and this is so that I can crisscross them and I can wrap the base of the what will be a little tiny Christmas tree after I add some pillow stuffing to it as well.
To have a place that I can come home to. Yes, I am on my way. We'll put our differences aside and just enjoy this moment of peace and love and happiness. We come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold.
All right, so after I had it all wrapped up and I cut the excess top portion of it, I am going to wrap the stick or the stem of the tree in this case using Dollar Tree garland. I am just going to wrap it around and tie it on the top, and we're not going to worry about the top just yet. We'll do that here in a minute. I am then going to take pieces of the garland and just cut them, wrapping around, and this is going to be to make branches for this tree. So the top branches will be smaller, and as I work my way down, they'll start getting larger.
Gather
So for the top, I'm just going to take two small pieces and I'm going to bend them like a V, and then I'm going to hot glue into the top. This is just going to make it look that pointy, like the pointy end that trees have on top. I then cut excess and I'm just going to trim the tree, basically just giving it a nice tree-like shape. Again, going from smaller branches on the top to larger branches on the bottom. And this will give it a nice Christmas tree look. I then decided to frost it using chalk paint, but you can certainly use any paint you have. I'm just going to start dry brushing some paint on all the bristles. To keep it in the same design and style as the other DIYs, I am going to hot glue several of the evergreen frosted picks, and I'm just going to sparingly all around hot glue them, as well as the white ones that I used earlier in the wreath.
Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday, it means so much more than words can say. And I claim Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget.
I am now going to take this burlap ribbon from the Dollar General, and I'm going to make a double loop simple bow and hot glue it to the front of the tree. This is just going to finish it off and add a super cute little red detail.
Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the
This old basket, actually it's not that old, but I've had it now for about 3 years and I never found anything to do with it. I got it at Packetans when they were like closing out, and it was just very like, I probably paid less than $1 for them. I got two, and I finally decided to just break it apart, and I'm going to make a super cute farmhouse wooden Christmas tree with the pieces. So I'm going to break it apart and I'm going to use the sides for the tree. Now they're already all different size. Well, four sizes, I guess, or four are the same sizes, and then I have three of them. One of them ripped, so I couldn't use. And I'm just going to start placing them kind of like how I see fit, and then using my miter box, I'm going to start making cuts to ensure that I have a tree-like shape. Once I had all the pieces cut, I then took these extra large painting stirring sticks that you can get at the hardware store. I get these at Lowe's or Home Depot, and they have little packets of like 3 for 98 cents. Very inexpensive. I'm going to use that as the stem of the tree, and using wood glue and my electric stapler, I'm going to start placing them about an inch apart from each other.
with sleigh bells and choirs singing, but I hear no church bells ringing out for me. This year I've been nothing but good, Santa Claus. I hope you to see and put some big fat golden stars in your book for me.
I am now sanding the edges using a 120 grit sandpaper. Basically, I just want to sand down the edges because they are very splintering after cutting them. And then after I was done with that, I noticed that the wood planks were just a little wobbly, so I'm just securing them even more using very tiny 1/2 inch brat nails and my nail gun. Now it's time to just start painting. Of course, I'm going to paint it white because that's the theme that I'm going with today. And I want this to have a very farmhouse look. So I'm going to give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. After the paint was dry, I am going to use my electric sander and I'm just going to sand away. I'm basically focusing more on the edges, but I don't mind if if it distresses all around because I am looking for a distressed farmhouse look. Again, staying with the theme with the red and black buffalo check, I'm going to use more of that ribbon from the Dollar General. I'm going to make a very simple bow once again. And I'm also going to make like a multiple strand bow. It's like a very loose bow using Dollar Tree, oh my gosh, nautical rope. If you separate the strands from the rope, you get the smaller like strands and they have like this natural kind of curl to it. So I'm going to use one of the strands of this leftover piece of the rope and I'm going to make, again, a very loose multiple strand bow. And then I'm going to hot glue it to the top of the tree and then place the buffalo check ribbon or buffalo check bow right on top of it. And then I'm going to separate the strands of the ones that are just going to be falling down just to give it a little bit more character. So I realized that I never did anything to the bottom, to the base of the tree to keep it from falling. So I got these 2 little cubes of a set that I got on, I think it was Target, yes, Target Dollar Spot several weeks ago. And I'm just going to take 2 of them and I'm going to use hot glue and E6000 and glue them, one to the front and one to the back. That way it'll keep it from falling forward or backwards. And then we'll be done with this one. I think this one turned out so cute. And what a wonderful way to use a basket that literally was on my shelves for the longest time and never ever used. I'm going to take this door. This door I did not thrift. It was given to me by a family member who was getting rid of 2 of these actually, and this is just one of them. So I cleaned it very well, and now I'm going to give everything, including the glass, 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white.
Let's go outside, the snow is falling down and every child is having so much fun. The snowman is twice the size as me with a smile as quirky as mine. We're holding hands to keep each other warm while we stand and watch a choir performing all the Christmas songs that we love. Yeah, all the Christmas songs that we love.
Once the paint was dry, I am now going to distress. Basically going to do the same thing, just focusing on the edges and very, very little on the wooden part. I did not distress the glass part. I didn't even sand it down because I did not want to risk it just breaking or anything like that. I then took it outside after I dusted it, and I'm going to give it one coat of this top coat from Rust-Oleum. It's very clear. I just want it to be protected, and that bug was in the way. So basically just one coat, let it dry. That way it'll seal everything in, especially in the glass. That's the part that I wanted to make sure it was nice and sealed. Using my Cricut, I cut out all of these little pine trees. I think they look absolutely beautiful in the black. I took the design from Cricut Design Space and I purchased it from there. And then I cut and paste several of them after I measured and knew what size I needed. And now I'm just going to transfer them to the bottom of the sign.
And while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire, 'cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you.
I also cut a farmhouse Christmas. Farmhouse has, they're both different fonts, but this was actually inspired by a Pinterest sign that I saw recently, and I thought it would be super cute for this sign. So I'm just going to transfer them to the middle of the sign and then start working on the Christmas arrangement.
I don't need any presents as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. Ooh. I'm making plans for what we're gonna do. I feel so blessed that I can be with you. 'Cause God knows that I've been longing for you. I just wanna hold you close. You know the stars are shining just for you. Let's take a walk and we can follow the moonlight till we reach a place we can stay. Maybe kiss a bit and dream away. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents.
Right, I'm going to take these Dollar Tree garland ties. I believe I grabbed 5 of them, and I'm just going to tie them in the middle using some Dollar Tree ribbon. And then just going to start placing things again, just to go with the same theme that we've been going. I'm going to use some buffalo check ribbon. I'm going to use more of these greenery picks and start placing them. I'm going to use more of the frosted berries from the Dollar Tree. And then I ended up using a smaller, thinner burlap style ribbon from Dollar General. Made a smaller bow to glue in the middle, or not glue, but kind of put together with the other bow. It just adds a little bit more character and another layer of texture. And that's all I'm going to be doing with this one. And then I'll hot glue it to right underneath the handle of the door. Alright guys, so we're just about done with this one. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to keep this one for myself and probably use it on top of my fireplace for this Christmas. But I just love the size of it. I love how clean looking and just how, I don't know, I just love that black and white look for Christmas. Number two, I'm going to take this round piece of wood. Again, this is something that my friend gave me. And I mean, seriously, right? I mean, it's gorgeous. You can find this at the hardware store, but you could tell it had a couple of scratches. I did not mind. I just think things like that have more character. I gave it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white, and then again using my Cricut and a design, the little reindeer there I bought from Cricut Design Space. I cut out this sign that says North Pole Reindeer Farm. I thought it'd be super cute to do something with reindeer. I'm going to transfer it to the center, but a little bit higher up.
Here comes the jolly season again with the sleigh bells and choirs singing.
All right, now it's time to start working on an arrangement for underneath the reindeer. I'm going to take these garland ties from the Dollar Tree. I believe I got 5.5. The other half I'm using to tie in the end, or in the center. And then I'm just kind of to start just kind of forming them and placing them where I want. And then I'm going to hot glue it to the middle bottom portion right underneath the reindeer. After I start hot gluing, I'm just going to start adding different just things. I'm going to add a ribbon, a double loop ribbon using ribbon from Dollar General. This is just a beautiful, very farmhouse striped kind of ribbon. I'm going to double loop it and then just make a simple bow, hot glue it to the center of the arrangement.
Bells are ringing out for me.
I'm going to take this pick from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use the pine cones that are on it. They have like a frosted look to them. Really cute. I'm just going to put one on each side.
I've been nothing but good Santa Claus. I hope you're the same. And put some big fat golden stars in your book for me.
I'm going to add, these are frosted berries from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to add a couple picks to each side of it as well, just hot gluing it to the center. And we're all done with this one, guys. I added a claw hook to the back so it can be hung. And I just love this one too. Actually, this is my husband's favorite.
Tell me Santa, it's Christmas all about love. In that case, can I have the one that I've been dreaming of? Tell me Santa, it's Christmas about love.
Take this tin American flag sign. I think it's super cute as it is, but once again, I just want to do something different and give it new purpose. So I'm going to remove the back hanging portion of the sign, and I'm also going to remove the stars. These are a little harder to remove, and they did leave a little bit of like a little piece sticking out, and I tried sanding it with the electric sander, but it didn't it didn't remove because it is metal. So even though I tried and it maybe smoothed it out a very tiny bit, not much. So I just ended up leaving it as is. I gave it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint, linen white, and then let it fully dry.
Let's go outside. The snow is falling down, and every child is having so much fun. The snowman is twice the size as me, with a smile as quirky as mine. We're holding hands.
All right, once again, using my Cricut, I cut out the word joy. These are very thick words, or not words, letters. I wanted to have them be very thick because the key to this one here is I want to start placing the letters inch by inch, starting on one end. So that way I can fold them within each crease of the sign, and it just looks like it just belongs on this sign.
Keep each other warm while we stand and watch a choir performing all the Christmas songs that we love. Yeah, all the Christmas songs that we love. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents, as long as I spend this day with you.
For the O, I started in the center and worked my way out because I wanted to make sure that each space in between each letter, it's about, or as close as possible to about the same.
So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. Ooh. I'm making plans for what we're gonna do. I feel so blessed that I can be with you. 'Cause God knows that I've been longing for you. I just wanna hold you close. You know the stars are shining just for you. Let's take a walk and we can follow the moonlight till we reach a place we can stay. Maybe kiss a bit and dream away. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you.
All right, so now I'm going to take this scarf from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to fold it until I have a size that fits the width of the sign. After I cut it, I folded it in half and then cut out a V shape to give it that Santa hat look.
Give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents, as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. Ooh. And in a while we're gonna go inside and
I then closed up the seams using hot glue. It does not require much glue, just a little bit goes a long way.
chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas.
I am now going to take this Dollar Tree dusting mop. Actually, this is a piece of it. Have you seen me using them? If you've seen my recent videos, I use these quite a bit. They're lovely for Christmas decorations. I had a piece left over, so I cut 2 pieces to match, and I'm going to hot glue them to the bottom of the hat, and that'll be the nice little fuzzy area on the bottom of the hat.
Moment we'll fill with love and joy. Loving so beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents, as long as I spend this day with you.
I added hot glue to each side and just kind of press down on the sides of the fuzzy area. That way it just closes them up. I'm going to take a smaller little leftover piece. I'm just going to hot glue it to the top, and that's going to be the little fuzzy ball at the end of the hat.
Last year I thought about how things can come around just like that if everyone is here to celebrate one day. We have our ups and downs, but when there's love there's always a way. And oh, this time of year we come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling.
Now I'm going to place the hat on top of the sign, just being very careful that my seams don't open up because it is a metal piece. Once I have it where I want it, I'm going to hot glue it in place.
Down, and it is cold outside. We gather around the fireplace, and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday. It means so much more than words can say. And I claim that Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget.
I then folded the top towards the bottom and hot glued it in place.
Glory this holiday represents, but it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day.
And now it's time to add some little embellishments. These pine tree or evergreen picks, I should say, are from Amazon. I got them recently for my Christmas season here. I do have them in my Amazon store, which is linked down below. I do have a lot of my favorite supplies from Amazon in that store, so if you want to check it out. I then added some additional Dollar Tree decor, like a little ball and the little frosted berries once again, and a little pine cone. And that's it, guys.
Last year I thought about how things can come around just like that if everyone is here to celebrate one day. We have our ups and downs, but when there's love, there's always a way. And oh, this time of year we come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday.
I'm going to start with these pieces of scrap wood that I had in the garage. Now, this video is all full of different Pinterest-inspired DIYs. I'm constantly looking for inspiration, and the other day I was on Pinterest and I just saw some beautiful decorations, and I thought, I'm going to make a Pinterest-inspired. So they're not exactly like what I saw on Pinterest, but they are inspired directly from Pinterest decor. So I lined up the pieces right as I saw fit. They're not all the same size, and I was okay with that. Then I took a painter stirring stick, and I hot glued it to the back of them, and now I'm using my electric stapler to secure it in place.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night.
All right, now I'm going to give everything 2 coats over Stonium chalk paint in the linen white.
Underneath the mistletoe, and I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is falling down.
Once the paint was dry, now it's time to do some painting. Every so often, I like to try things like this. And so I'm just going to freehand paint a evergreen, so a pine tree. And it's going to be a thinner pine tree. And the inspiration that I saw on Pinterest was actually green, I believe. But this one I want to make a little bit more wintry, Christmassy. So I'm going to start with the brown stem, and then that is Artisa's paint. And then this one that I'm using here is a charcoal by Rust-Oleum. And again, just freehanding the bristles and the branches. And then I'm going to cover it with white paint to make it seem like it's full of snow.
Storm is on its way, but as long as you're around, everything will be okay. 'Cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment to have you for myself in a cabin out of nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything.
All right, so now I'm going to start adding these little tiny foam berries. I just grabbed these from a pick that I have from the Dollar Tree. The original piece had like little Christmas balls, and I just thought it'd be cute to add them to my peas. And so I'm just going to add these sparingly all down the tree.
Till we perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. Another year went by, but the day.
And then I took some red glittery ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to make a very simple bow and just add it to the top. The original did not have it, but I thought I'd add to mine just because it just looked like it was missing a little something something. And then to finish things off, I'm just going to add a piece of scrap wood. I'm going to hot glue it and E6000 it to the back. That way it can stand up. And we're done with this one, guys. I'm so proud of this little tree. It was one of the easiest DIYs ever. But you know, sometimes I like to freehand stuff like this and I get all nervous and all worked up, but I really like the way it turned out. But I'd love to hear what you think of it. Let me know in the comments.
Where is this time? Is it ever since July? I've been happier than I have ever been. It's safe to say that my love for you is true.
I'm gonna take this leftover DIY, I guess. I made it for summer, and during it had a thermostat, a Dollar Tree thermostat on the other side of the word summer, and a storm came and it knocked it over, and the thermostat was gone. So I kept the piece of wood because it's a solid piece of wood, and so I thought I'd make something with it, and here we are. I'm gonna give it 2 fresh coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. And then I'm going to use this stencil. This stencil I got several years ago. I've used it multiple times. I'm just going to need the part that says Christmas. I'm going to tape off anything that is above that or below it so that way I'm not mistakenly stenciling it. And I'm going to stencil it using Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the charcoal tone. I am now going to mark 3 spots, and I'm going to drill holes because I'm going to add some knobs to this board. I want this to be kind of like a hook, not a hook, a coat hanging station or maybe purse or scarves. So I'm just going to drill the holes, and then I'm going to add some crystal knobs that I got on Amazon. The crystal knobs that I am using, guys, I use all the time when I'm flipping furniture. They're beautiful, inexpensive. I do have them in my Amazon store. I have a lot of these supplies that I use all the time on my Amazon store, so check it out. The link is in the description box. I am also going to drill a couple larger holes on the top so that I can thread some rope, and that way it can be hung from there.
Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty the snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light while we're dancing around the Christmas tree, hugging and kissing just you and me.
And now it's time to add some greenery and Christmassy decor. These are leftover from a couple of picks from the Dollar Tree, and these smaller ones are from Amazon. Again, I do have them in my Amazon store, link down below. And I'm going to make a very simple bow using Dollar General ribbon and hot glue it to the center, and we'll be done. This is one of my favorite. I really love the way this turned out. I like simplicity. I love black and white for Christmas, and I just think it looks so cute, so farmhouse-ish. I'm going to take this plank wall decor that I DIY'd several months ago for another DIY, and I didn't need it after spring, so, or I think it was summer. I can't remember. So I'm going to reuse it for this DIY. I'm also going to take this plaque from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use the Waverly Antiquing Wax and stain it with that. I'm going to brush it all around and then remove the excess with the rag.
Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside.
I'm going to remove the claw hook from one side and just move it to the other side because I want the plaque to be able to cover the 2 holes that the plank board has. All right, so now using wood glue and my brad nail, I'm going to secure the plaque to the top of the board.
We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling.
Using my Cricut, I cut the phrase days until Christmas. This is going to be a countdown to Christmas board. I saw something similar on Pinterest, and I just thought, what a cute thing. I've seen them everywhere, obviously, right? We've seen them all. But I yet to have one here in my home, so I thought it'd be super cute to create my own. And since I had these supplies, I figured why not? All right, so now I'm going to take this chalkboard sticker that you can customize to whatever size you want. It's from the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to mark where I need to make the cuts, and place it on the center of the plaque.
Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sun said it is just getting better on a...
I am now going to drill holes. There were already a couple holes on the plaque, but I'm going to drill them all the way down, because even though I have the claw hook on the back, I do want to have the option to hang this one as well through jute twine. So that's why I am drilling the holes, and then later on I will thread the jute twine. Once again, I'm going to use a pick from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to pull it all apart, and I'm going to rearrange it in the style that I want, right on the top where that little loop in the plaque is.
Blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart.
And we're just about done with this one. I'm just going to hot glue this berries on there, as well as this little bell.
Here comes the jolly season again with the sleigh bells and choirs singing. But I hear no church bells ringing out for me.
From the Target dollar spot, where things are mainly $5 or less. They have some beautiful things, and I found these two little houses when they had their harvest kind of fall decor. And so I instantly grabbed them, and I knew I wanted them for Christmas decorations. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the battery operated lighting that it has. Very easy to remove and very easy to put back. Basically, you just remove the little, I don't know, the little hooks, or push them back, and then carefully remove the lighting. They were attached to like a top thing, but I just pulled it down and it came off easily. I took them outside. It is a beautiful day today here, so I took them outside, spray painted them, gave them one coat of Rust-Oleum spray paint in a flat white. I wasn't looking for perfection because I want these to have a semi-distressed look for a farmhouse look. That is what I'm going for with all these 4 DIYs, and they're all going to be in the same theme. I want them to have a neutral Christmas decor style with a little pop of red. Once the houses were dry, I am going to take one of these dusting mops from the Dollar Tree, and I am going to hot glue them to the top, kind of looking like they have a whole bunch of snow on top.
Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if
I want to cover a little bit of that black battery operated like lighting base on the inside, and I thought about putting decorations inside the houses, but you really couldn't see them. So I decided to just take this burlap ribbon from burlapfabric.com. It's a little bit of a mesh kind of burlap, and it's a little bit see-through, so when the lights are on, you'll still be able to see through the lights. So I thought it was perfect. So I'm going to just wrap the bottom portion of it using this ribbon.
snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring, it will
I then took some different greeneries and different things from Dollar Tree picks that I pulled apart, and I'm just going to hot glue them to the left bottom portion of each house. And I did the same thing with the second house, and I did add a little pop of red berries, and this is exactly going to be the theme for all these 4 DIYs today. Very neutral with a little pop of red.
Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sunset, it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do.
All right, so we're just about done with this one, and I am happy with these little houses. I can't wait to display them. I'm still torn whether I should sell them because I sell a lot of my crafts, or if I should keep them. I'm not sure yet.
We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart.
So I'm going to take this frosted tree that is, it was at the dollar spot at Target. And more recently, this is now with their Christmas decor. And although it is beautiful as is, I just want to give it a little bit more personality and character. So I'm going to take some of this burlap, large kind of, is it ribbon? I don't know. I've had it for so long. I got it on sale at Walmart, and I've used it multiple times. I cut out a square, pretty large square, and now I'm going to put some pillow stuffing on the base of it. I usually keep a Walmart pillow. They're very inexpensive, and I just keep taking stuffing out of it for different projects. So I'm just going to add it to the base, and then I'm going to wrap the base just pretty much bringing in the corners and tucking in anything that sticks out. And then I'm going to tie it in this at the base using some jute twine.
Let's go outside, the snow is falling down and every child is having so much fun. The snowman is twice the size as me, with a smile as quirky as mine. We're holding hands to keep each other warm while we stand and watch a choir performing all the Christmas songs that we love. Yeah, all the Christmas songs that we love.
These little LED lights are from Dollar Tree, but they do have a mesh kind of covering on it. So I'm going to very carefully cut off the mesh and just so that I can just have the string of lights.
And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want.
I place batteries in them and I turn them on as I am going to place them on the tree. I do like to turn my lights on when I am placing them on trees because then I know exactly where I want the light to be placed.
To spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas moment we'll fill with love and joy.
I'm now going to take this glittery white ribbon from the Dollar Tree. You can't really see the glitter part, but trust me, it's there and it's very frosted like, which I thought would be perfect for this little tree. I'm going to make a triple loop bow and just tie it in the middle, then secure it to the base of the tree.
So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. Ooh. I'm making plans for what we're gonna do. I feel so blessed that I can be with you. 'Cause God knows that I've been longing for you. I just wanna hold you close. You know the stars are shining just for you. Let's take a walk and we can follow the moonlight stay. Maybe kiss a bit and dream away. And in a while
And just like I did in the previous DIY, I am going to take a couple of these little berry bunches from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to hot glue them to the kind of underneath the bow. Again, just to add a little pop of red, but I want this tree to be mostly neutral, and I love, love, love the way this tree turned out.
go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a Christmas moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. I don't need any presents as long as I spend this day with you. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby, with you. Ooh,
I'm going to take this dollar spot from Target, a little like countdown to Christmas board. It's beautiful as is, and it actually came with a lot of different options. I was very surprised with all the options that it brought. It brought all kinds of numbers, of course, with the option of it being red with white or white with red, and then different fonts and different blank ones that you can customize. Really cool. However, I've got to make it a little bit more custom. So I am going to dry brush some white chalk paint on the house. Now I started very light and then increased the paint as I went, but I want it to have more of a distressed look. I don't want it to be all white.
Christmas lights are all around. I can see them now.
I am now going to take this little wreath from the Target dollar spot. It was $3, super cute and adorable, and I thought it would look perfect on this little board house here. So I'm going to place it on the top. I am going to kind of change it up a little bit. So I'm going to place the numbers on it just to kind of see where they fall, but I want the numbers to be in the middle of the wreath. Now this board is going to be a little different. It's not going to have the days until. I'm kind of assuming that people would know what it means. And I'm just going to place a screw so that I can then attach the wreath to it. Before we do that, I'm going to take more of that burlap ribbon from burlapfabric.com, make a simple bow, secure it with jute twine to the wreath, and then secure the entire wreath to the board.
It's like they spell your name. It's insane. Now we're back here once again. Holidays and cheer. But now I got my eye set on you. I'm not gonna play it safe. It's going down on Christmas Day. 'Cause I've been trying to tell you in every way. Yeah, I've been trying to show you, but somehow felt I wanna have someone to hold. Walking through the falling snow. I've been trying to tell you in every way, but now I'll get it done. I'm not going away. And right around the mistletoe, I'm gonna let my feelings show. Always got you on my mind, but I know this time.
I'm going to add very, very little amount of greenery to this bow because there's already a lot of greenery with the wreath. And again, I'm going to add a pop of color using some red berries. Once again, just hot gluing them there to the center of the bow. And then we'll be done with this one. I'm just going to add the numbers and the Christmas board on the bottom one. And I love the way this one turned out. It's very classy.
Jingle bells ringing in my ear. Jingle bell, a sound that's oh so dear. Frosty snowman is all around town. Watch out for reindeers are falling down. We stay up.
I redid one of these door panels. I got a pair of these at the thrift store, and maybe about a month and a half ago or so, I redid another one similar to what I'm doing, just giving it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint and the linen white. But this time around, I'm going to make it more of a sign rather than a kind of like the one I did for fall had a wreath in the middle, and this one will be more a sign for Christmas. So like I said, I'm going to give it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint, let it fully dry, and then we're using my hand sander. I am going to sand down particularly more the edges, giving it a farmhouse style look.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe, and I've gotten you a present.
While I was on Pinterest the other day, I saw this phrase, "True love was born in a manger," which I think is absolutely a beautiful phrase, and it inspired me to create this sign. I used my Cricut to cut this phrase, and I'm just going to transfer it onto the bottom right of the sign.
That I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is falling down, and the storm is on its way. But as long as you're around, everything will be okay. 'Cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment to have you for myself, in a cabin out in nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything to be perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. Another year went by, but the difference this time is that ever since July, I've been happier than I have ever been. It's safe to say that my love for you is true. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment to have you for myself, in a cabin out in nowhere, just us and no one.
I am now going to add some florals and details with a Christmas theme. These greenery style picks, I believe I thrifted them, but it's been so long ago. It's probably been almost a year now. So I don't remember where exactly they came from, but I do have several of them left over, and I thought it would be very appropriate for this little sign. I'm going to create a swag for the top, kind of like hang it from the knob of the door. These little berries I recently thrifted they were part of a wreath that I thrifted recently, and I just cut off the berries from a pick that it had, and I'm just going to secure them there in the center with some wire, and then I'm going to secure the swag onto the knob, again using wire and hot glue.
I've decorated everything to be perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. 'Cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment to have.
I'm going to use this burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to create a simple bow and then hot glue it right in the center of the swag.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe. mistletoe. And I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is falling down, and the storm is on its way. But as long as you're around, everything will be okay. 'Cause all I wanna do is spend this holiday with you. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment to have you for myself, in a cabin out in nowhere, just us and no one else. I've decorated everything till we're perfect for this week. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. Another year went by, but the difference this time is that ever since July, I've been happier than I have.
I'm going to take this Dollar General sack. It's like a Christmas, like an old-fashioned Christmas gift sack where you can fill it with toys, zip it up or tie it up, and it would make, just a cute little decor. I bought two of them. They were a little bit on the expensive side, and I say that because I don't like buying things that are over like $5. But it was $7, but the size is humongous. Now I am going to take off just the front portion. I'm just going to cut it off, and I am going to make a sign off of it. Now I'm going to keep the rest because it has this really cool drop cloth kind of material, but thinner, so more manageable. And I think I can use it for other DIYs. But for now, we're just going to use the front portion where it has the Christmas decorations or the Christmas writing. I'm going to pull the sides just using my fingers and my fingernails. This is just to fray the edges just a little bit to give it more of a rustic farmhouse look, which is the look I'm going for all of these DIYs today. All of these are going to have a very natural rustic look, and I want them to all have the same kind of look so that they can all be together almost as a set. This board here I got recently. I thrifted at the thrift store. It was $3. It is pretty big and heavy duty. It's solid wood. I want to say it was part of a cabinet door or something like that because it had like a handle, or it was just, I'm not sure what it was, but I do know that I'm really happy I got it. I hot glued the let's call it sack, right? I hot glued the sack to the board, and now I'm going to take these upholstery tacks and I'm going to hammer 4 of them, one in each corner.
Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah.
So now I am going to take several little twigs and picks that I have. This twigs I got off of a whole bunch that I thrifted last year for winter decor, and I have a ton left over. So I just cut off a few pieces, and I'm going to take a couple of these branches from a pick I recently got at the Dollar General, and I'm going to create a little swag for on top of the board of the frame. And I'm going to tie it together using ribbon from the Dollar General.
Isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the January. Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart.
After I hot glued it to the top, I'm just going to make a very simple bow using the same ribbon. This is a kind of like a burlap red ribbon from the Dollar General. It's beautiful and it's really easy to work with. I'm just going to, again, simple bow, hot glue it to the center. And then I'm going to add a couple pine cones These are frosted pine cones from the Dollar General as well. And hot glue, one in each side of the bowl. And that's it for this one, guys. It's lovely. I love it. I think it's my favorite from today, but there's a couple that I really, really love. But this one's up there high on the list.
And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sunset, it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sanctuary. Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. Here we go. All right. Dance, dance, now this Christmas, we're gonna dance. We're gonna dance, 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 come on. Dance. We're gonna dance, dance, have a good time. Dance, dance, all night long. We're gonna dance, dance, and have a
Guys, I want to remind you about my new channel, Beauty on Purpose at Home. I do thrift with me, shop with me, vlogs, home inspiration, all kinds of different things that I don't post on this channel. Alright guys, so for this next DIY, I'm going to use 2 wood slices that Artisa sent me a couple of months ago. And I'm going to create a very rustic snowman. I am going to take this, or the smaller wood slice of the 2, and that's going to be the head. And I'm going to take this Dollar Tree scarf, and I'm going to create a very loose, very relaxed kind of winter hat for my snowman. So I just cut a piece and then I just kind of wrapped it around. I'm going to staple it in the back. I also did hot glue the top of it just to kind of seal it in together. And then I'm going to scrunch up the top and tie it together with the leftover string from the drop cloth. That way it just looks very relaxed, very, I don't know, just chill, you know, not like a regular winter hat. And I really like the way this little hat turned out.
last year I thought about how things can come around just like that if everyone is here to celebrate one day. We have our ups and downs, but when
I then just tilted it to the side just a bit and hot glued it, again just to give it a little bit more character and a relaxed look. Once I was done with the hat, I needed to join both wood slices together. So I took this thicker and longer, more heavy duty painter stick, and you can get these at the hardware store. I'm going to make a cut using my miter box. That way I can use it to join both wood slices. I did join them using wood glue as well as brat nails. That way it's secure and it's not going to go anywhere.
love there's always a way, and oh, this time of year we come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around the fireplace and no one cares about yesterday. My favorite holiday, it means so much more than words can say. And I claim Christmas is a magic day. Sometimes I tend to forget what glory this holiday represents. But it's fair to say that Christmas is a magic day. This year I'll think about how I'm so lucky to have a place.
All right, so I want to add a scarf, and I thought about using the same drop cloth that I used earlier, and I think it's a perfect little addition to the texture of this snowman. So to keep it nicely kind of like wide, I'm going to staple it to the back and then hot glue it to the front, and that way it doesn't scrunch up on me and it stays pretty
That
wide.
I can come home to. Yes, I am on my way. We'll put our differences aside and just enjoy this moment of peace and love and happiness.
For the buttons, I'm going to use 3 little small pine cones, again from the Dollar Tree. And then for the nose, I'm going to use a larger pine cone. And then for the mouth, I'm just going to use little pieces of pine cones that fell off of the pine cones and just hot glue them in place. To add a little bit of detail, and again to just keep with the same theme and style as the other DIYs, I'm going to add a couple of those little picks from the Dollar General, hot glue him to the hat, and look how cute he looks. My daughter, she's 7, she said, "I think he looks weird, mommy." I think he's adorable. My husband liked him too, and I just think he looks perfect with the rest of the decor. All right, my friends, this is it for today. I know it was so much information and so much content, but I would love for you to tell me in the comments which one is your favorite. If you're visiting for the first time, I hope you consider subscribing and joining our YouTube family. And if you are returning, once again, thank you so much for coming back. I so appreciate your support. Hey guys, at the end here of the video, I am going to have a playlist with all my Christmas videos that I've ever made. If you want to watch more, click on that. And hey, have a blessed day. Bye.
Let's go outside, the snow is falling down and every child is having so much fun. The snowman is twice the size as me with a smile as quirky as mine.